Okay, welcome everybody to Sleep Zone. I'm whispering, and I think I just got notification that I went live. That's why I'm whispering. Anyways, um, I got this client project to finish, and I figured why not stream the edits? So I'm using Lightroom CC for these edits, and I'm just going to show you kind of my quick process. Hopefully, I can get this done in 30 minutes. And I kind of already started. I was downloading this stuff in the background. So I'm going to be looking over here, not at the camera. And this is my Lightroom window. So I shot these photos from, that's me here. I was testing out my strobe to see if it was bright enough. And yeah, it was. But I needed, well, that one's the one I wanted to see if it even flashed because it was such a bright day. And here's me holding the camera upside down, trying to take a photo just to see what it looks like. And it was fine. Anyways, so I already made the adjustments here on the exposure. I'll show you guys the original. That's the original. It's a little dark. The shadows are a little too shadowy. And I brightened it up, brought some more detail out of those shadows. So the strobe is on this side over here on the left upside above right here. And so it wasn't getting enough exposure down here. And I'll show you what I made an adjustment to in the other one. So the great thing about Lightroom CC is that you can make some edits here, copy and paste them across everything. So I actually started with, let's see, what photo was it? It was this one right here. And so I made some edits. Already to this one. I brought down the exposure a little bit to bring back those highlights. Like, that's a little bright. Ideally, I would have loved to adjust it a little bit of this, and maybe I can bring down those highlights just a little bit. But I'm pumping the whites to make it bright, and I'm pumping the shadows up to bring in a little bit more detail so it's not so dark in this area. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's still some data in this dark area, and I'm able to see it. There's an indicator here in the histogram. This little triangle turns red when something is, I think it's lost in the exposure. So if I go like this, oh, maybe it's not. I don't know. I think when you import an image, it'll highlight. Anyways, so shadows. I applied some masking already. I created a masking for the lips, and this one, I'm just keeping it the same. Some iris and the pupils, and again, I wasn't able to get like a catch light in there, in that eye. And then just a little bit of skin smoothing and facial skin smoothing. So, I mean, ideally, once I'm done selecting the ones that I'm gonna edit, this is like the first phase, and then I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna do some skin retouching, just a little bit right there. Nobody has perfect skin. Nobody. Everybody always needs a little bit of retouching. Anyways, so that was my base. I copied that, and what's cool is that it actually applied it to everybody in the photo. So if I look at my thing, the mask is on everybody, like everybody's body skin, facial skin. I thought I would apply it to everybody. Let me see if I can create a new mask for facial skin. So people, let's see if it'll see. There's an option here for all people, so I'm gonna select it so it's all people, and I'm gonna go to facial skin. So the red here indicates that they are gonna be affected. That's the area of the photo that's gonna be affected. And these new tools, this new AI stuff is fantastic because you used to have to paint in all of this, but now it's automatically done for you. So I'm gonna create the mask to just affect everybody's face here. We go down, and I'm gonna bring, there's a preset up here that you can select, and it's called smooth skin. And you guys see how subtle that was? You can kind of tell in this guy. If I remove it, it brings back a lot of that texture. Remove it, it just eases it off, and it also brings down some of that highlight, which I'm not sure if I like. Let me see. I don't want to remove clarity. I just want to remove that texture. You can go crazy and go all the way, and they look like super polished, and it looks unrealistic. So I'm gonna bring it back to about right there. So everybody looks good. Teeth are good. Let's see here. Let's see if the teeth aren't in here. I can make it a mask so it just affects the teeth. It makes them white. I think they have perfect teeth, but I'll show you guys really quick this preset that's in here. So if I select teeth, you see that their teeth gets highlighted. I go over here, the same thing. It's highlighted. I'm gonna hit create. I'm gonna create that mask. And once I've have that mask, I'm gonna go again to the preset, and I'm gonna select whiten teeth. And you see what it does. I mean, it makes it a little obnoxious. Actually, it looks nice, but what it is it added a little bit of exposure, and it removed that saturation. It didn't remove it all. When you're whitening teeth, if you go too far, it makes them look blue. I'll show you guys real quick. So if I go here, you know how they look a little fake, right? If I go further, you see how they turn blue? I mean, maybe it's just my eyes, but everything else around in the photo is warm. And so once you remove all color, like that contrast, it makes that white look a little bit blue, a little cool. So we're gonna bring that back, and we're actually not gonna increase the exposure that much. I'm gonna just bring it down to maybe 0.20, and that looks good. So now I'm gonna apply all these settings to the other photos. I'm gonna do this, options here, and I'm gonna choose which settings to copy. I'm gonna select masking. By default, that's not there. Here, there's this show this every time you copy, right? But so I'm showing this so that I can then make sure that masking, that AI masking, gets pasted in everything else. So I'm gonna copy. I'm gonna bring it to this one, and I already did some edits on here. You guys can see that I created a mask to bring the exposure on the right side up, because again, the strobe was just one-sided. Let's go to another photo. Let's do this one. Okay, she's covering her face a little bit. I just took the photo because, I don't know, she wasn't ready. So I'm gonna paste it. So it pasted everything. So you can see the exposure is a little too much. Let me see here. Shadows I think I had changed the exposure, so I don't want to bring up shadows that much. Maybe like that. That looks okay, but I'm gonna hit the little X here, or just X on my keyboard. I'm gonna be like, I don't like it. Again, it's because of that. So I'm not gonna select that one. Go to the next one. That one looks okay. Let me see which one I like best. This one. I'm actually gonna copy the settings from this one because I already created a mask that fixed the exposure on that side. So I'm coming over here. I don't want that one. I'm gonna paste those exact settings. Boom. Okay. And now you can see that all my masks were brought up and all my selections are already there. So I actually like that one. I'm gonna send them that one as well. So I took some from different angles. As you can tell, this one, I shoot a lot from the lower angle, so I'm more shooting down at her eye level. This one is more from like a standing level. I'm more like around this height. I'm gonna paste my settings. See how it looks. It's okay. He's a little dark there. She's super bright. Let me see. And the strobe is hitting it, and he's smiling. And those teeth are not. Okay, I'm gonna have to apply that filter here. I don't have the skin one here, so I'm gonna, again, I'm going to people. I'm going to the mask. I'm getting the plus. And I'm gonna select all people because I want it to affect everybody. I want to whiten those teeth. Because let me tell you guys, if you guys drink coffee a lot, this is what happens. Or you know, Coke or whatever you drink that's dark, it's gonna show up in your teeth. So I'm gonna hit create. There's a CEO that I work with a lot. I'm not gonna name names, but boy, he's got the money to fix his teeth, and I almost brought it up the last time I shot with him. I'm like, you know, you would make my job easier if you just whiten your teeth. Anyways, so let's apply that preset. Whiten teeth. Okay, I like it. It brightened it up. This one looks obnoxious. And then, okay, it's a little too much. It's way too much. So I'm gonna bring this down to, again, like a 0.16. And I'm gonna make a mask that just affects this guy. So I'm gonna hit one for person one. I'm gonna do teeth because I know this guy needs a little bit more help. I'm gonna select whiten teeth from the presets. There we go. That did it. You guys see? Now, good smiles all around. So now that I have all that, I'm gonna hit, and by the way, this guy, anyways, you learn to work with all different kinds of people and all kinds of attitudes as you're working. Different personality types. Some people I get along with perfectly. They get what I'm saying, blah, 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 all that stuff. And some people you really gotta work with to get them kind of to come out of their shell and be comfortable in front of the camera. Which, you know, I'm working on myself as well, because, I don't know, it seems like it's one of those requirements for business nowadays is to, you know, have a YouTube channel, have a TikTok account, have an Instagram, have a Twitter or X account. Anyways, it's just the nature of the beast, I guess, business. Okay, I see what's happening here. Something, I don't know if you guys saw that, but something's making his complexion darker as well. And I wonder if it's this one. Let me see. Yeah. I mean, it's taking away some of that shine. Maybe I can bring back that exposure on him by creating a new mask and select people. Person number one. I'm gonna do facial skin. Let's just do facial skin. I just want to make him not. There we go. Just a little bit more clarity on that. Not too much. We don't want to make him look like he has a spray-on tan everywhere else except for his body. They're all different complexions. These two are close. This one's super light, and this one's... Anyways. I'm gonna hit Z because I like this one. I'm gonna actually apply the same edits to the other one. So I'm gonna copy my masking from this one. I'm gonna go back and paste it in here. Okay, there we go, done. And I show him that one. See how he's not looking at the camera. Maybe he is, I don't know. But people, and obviously her eyes are closed, and she's not ready. The only one that's ready is this guy, so I'm gonna X and not keep it. Let me see. Again, chin up, no smile. I don't want to use that. Okay, so we're done with the group ones, the group edits. We've selected the ones we're gonna keep. So now I'm going to this one again. And there's a few things I had to do. So I'm gonna just apply the presets to her photos. So I'm gonna, again, select the presets for masking, because I already have all my masks ready to go. And then I'm gonna start with the first one. I don't think the strobe flashed on that one, but there it is. Apply it. Boom. Okay. I love the color. The color is fantastic. And let's make those, let me see, the eyes pop a little bit more. Let me see if I have a preset here. Enhance eyes. Okay, there we go. So you see what enhanced eyes does is it, again, increases the exposure, increases the saturation, and then pops that clarity to give it that. Now, I mean, you can't really see the eyes, but if you zoom in, there is a little catch light. That's the strobe right there. Okay, next, so I'm gonna copy these settings, and I'm gonna copy that. So I wanna fix the angle. I don't, you see how it's at an awkward angle? Because I wasn't using a tripod. So I'm gonna fix it. I'm looking at that back. When you're, this is how I do it. So if I'm adjusting the crop, I'm doing it to level it out. Unless I want to have that look intentional. So if I wanted to give it that off balance look like this, I wouldn't just slightly do it, kind of like the original, how the photo was taken. I would go a little bit even further, right? So I would do something like this. And why like this? It's because I'm looking at the face. I'm looking at it so that the face and the feet lined up. So even though it looks off balance, because at least from my point of view, if the head and the feet are lined up, it looks like it has balance to it, even though the body is out of balance, because you can see the horizon line, everything is tilted, right? So, but I don't think that's what they're going for. I think they want something like this. So that's what I'm giving them. The other thing I don't like, and we're gonna fix, is the floor here. That's being overexposed right there. And also the sun is actually right here. But I don't want that. So I'm gonna bring down that exposure. So I'm gonna hit M for my masks. I'm gonna hit the plus icon. And I'm gonna go to linear, because I'm gonna just mask off this area right here. And I'm gonna bring down the highlights. Ooh, you guys see that? Just bringing the highlights down, I was able to recover that detail in that tile on the floor. So again, I brought them down almost all the way, but this is how it was. It looks blown out. And let me tell you guys, one of the quickest ways to show that you aren't, I don't want to use this word professional, but you're not necessarily, one of the biggest tells is when something is overexposed. Sometimes you can't control exposure all the time, but that's why I use strobes, so I can get an added level of control over my light. But again, I bring down the highlights, boom, we get more detail. And why would I want to bring down the exposure on that area as well? Well, what it's doing when it was like this, it's anything that's bright, your eye is going to go to. So my eye is going, like as I'm looking at it, it's pointed to the finger and almost directly down to the floor, like boom. So what I don't want is I want the eye to be drawn to her, right? So if I bring this down, now my eye isn't being brought down here. It's staying on her. And that's just how I'm editing. I can't do much for the sun because that is completely blown out. Let's see. Let me see if I bring down the exposure there. I mean, you get a little bit more sky or color. But I think that's good. I'm just going to copy these. Hit save on that one. I like that one. That one's good. I gave her some direction to tilt her head up. We'll see how she likes it. So I'm gonna again crop it in, and again cropping in because I have a few things, and that's my strobe up in the corner. So I'm lining it up so her eyes will line up to that third, that rule of thirds. And again, it's a little odd right there. Let's see if I can bring down that exposure. There. Just a little bit. Okay, now she's at the center. Once again, I made some adjustments, so I'm copying it and doing it again. This one's okay, but I don't like that she's not facing the camera, but she might like to use it for something, so I'm gonna include it. Because there's no sun in it as well. Boom. This one's out of focus. It's not focusing on her. It's focusing on the background. Anyways, so I'm gonna reject that one. I like that one. Nice. I like that. Go to the next one. Same thing. Let me see. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap up with this. So I'm gonna just go ahead and paste that same stuff and go through all of these. And then that's it. I'm gonna turn them in and I'm good to go. I might continue to do these, and not sure about at least one